Degeneres has launched a skincare line, Kind Science, and I wanted to know, is the science kind or is it a scam? Like many other celebrity skincare lines where somebody famous just slaps their name onto a product that they know very little to nothing about, and they rake in the cash. As a medical esthetician and a figment of the internet, I've done many other reaction videos and analysis videos on other celebrity skincare lines on YouTube. However, as I started looking into this one with my team, it got deep, it got deeper, and it got even deeper to an entire iceberg. The surface of the iceberg is Ellen DeGeneres might not be that kind to her employees, but deeper down that iceberg, we're talking about the skincare line co-founder living in Ellen DeGeneres' own home. And we even start talking about Proactive and how these things are all intertwined. But before that, let's talk about Kind Science. Specifically, they say that they are positive aging. They say that they don't have a lot of harsh chemicals or toxic ingredients, but are the ingredients as toxic as the alleged work environment? Disclaimer, I am not an Ellen DeGeneres watcher. I don't know much about her, so most of what I'm going off of are articles or publications online. And although I might know very little about the Ellen show, I do know quite a bit about skincare. I've been in the industry for over 10 years. I'm a medical esthetician, but I'm not a doctor nor a dermatologist. But that being said, I did want to know, is there a doctor or a dermatologist on this Kind Science routine? And it appears that no. Ellen DeGeneres launched this line with Victoria Jackson. She's, I guess, the co-founder, which we're gonna get into in a minute. However, Ellen is all over the website talking about kind aging, aging positively, and about these amazing ingredients that she's supposedly put into her line. When you open the website, it's got a smiling Ellen and it says, "It's all about aging positively. I want to keep laughing, but I want fewer laugh lines and wrinkles." It then says age positive skincare and that it's high performance grounded in science. But then they say some things that are slightly anti-scientific that come from the clean beauty community, which again, clean beauty or natural beauty is not scientific. Some may even say it has a smear of anti-scientific to it, because the clean beauty movement goes directly against science by saying things like no chemicals when water is literally a chemical, when air is a chemical mixture. If we didn't have chemicals, we wouldn't have skincare, nor would we have a you or a me or an Ellen or a $12 million house that Ellen sold to the co-founder, Victoria, which again, we are going to talk about later. It says powerful plants and patented peptides that are clinically validated, which is nice to see. Looks like there's no dyes, no added fragrance, or harsh ingredients. And you know what? That sounds nice, especially for those with sensitive skin. Now it does say no toxins or heavy oils. Now this is where we get into fear-mongering and playing along with the industry. Is Kind Science the worst offender out there? I personally don't believe so, but it's the continual reinforcement of these ideas of non-toxic, natural, clean beauty that can be a problem. And this comes from someone, myself personally, who genuinely likes some brands that do label themselves as clean beauty. There are some brands that have great formulas, and it frustrates me that they do this clean, non-toxic marketing. And again, I don't think that they are the worst offenders, but I think it's important to put out there. They then say that they are cruelty-free and eco-kind, which we love to see, but when you actually look into the ingredients, which we're gonna do in a second, we find out that they're not actually kind to all. For instance, having crushed up bees. And they want you to look at their before and after photos, but I will say, their before and after photos are a little bit sus. They have this bar where you can pull left and right, and they're saying this is clinically validated and tested for 12 weeks. However, this study was only using the firming serum and hydration cream, so I don't think they were using the other products. Is this 12 weeks later, or is this Photoshop? The way these images line up, it's too similar. Have you ever tried to take two pictures that are identical? Even if you're taking them on the same day with the same setup with like a tripod, it's very, very hard. Now try to do that 12 weeks apart. The eyelashes are pointing in the exact same directions. There are little clumps of makeup or something in the exact same places. I am just calling it as I see it, and what I see is sus. Now the one thing I will say is that when you do scroll down this website, they do actually have a recycling guide. This is actually something I really like that I wish more brands did. For example, I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, but I didn't even know until recently, you need to take the stickers off of bottles. You need to make sure there's no food residue in there if you want to recycle it. And the fact that brands are now showing consumers how their products can be recycled and like what % of post-consumer recycled plastic they're being made of, it could be a little bit of greenwashing, but I think it is steps in the right direction because it is starting the conversation. Overall, it does look friendly, non-intimidating. I like that they are bringing science to the forefront, but they have this positive aging, age positive thing to them, but then it basically says, get rid of your wrinkles. And the whole thing about that is, okay, what does it mean to age positive then? Is positive aging the act of embracing our wrinkles and allowing them to happen and loving them? Is it about saying, I have them and I'm not gonna let them get to me, but I'm still gonna do whatever I can to get rid of them? Or is it just kind of saying, oh, I wanna be age positive because we should feel good about ourselves, but I'm actually still really, really insecure and you're ugly if you have wrinkles, so buy these products? I don't know the answer. I think it's an important narrative and I like that this line is actually starting to discuss it, but what does it mean when this is an anti-aging line that says to age positively? Like, what does that mean? I don't know the answer, and that's why I'd like to leave the discussion open for all of us to participate in. And in addition to that, what does it mean to age positive when you have filters, Photoshop, really good stage lighting? Let's be honest, the Ellen show has some really great stage lighting. There are many photos of Ellen, most photos of Ellen online, where she is photoshopped and filtered. And is she doing that with kind science? I do see little traces of Photoshop. Is that absolute? I didn't edit the photos, so no, I can't say. But it does make us wonder. And then again, Ellen is being the face of this line. She's saying, this is what it looks like to age positive. How does that feel for other women her age or at a similar age who don't look exactly like her? I don't know her cosmetic procedure or injection history. It's none of my business unless she is literally using it to sell things to us. And I'd be interested to know what she's had done and if she discloses that or not. The other thing I want to know, in addition to any past fillers, injections, etc., is this just a money grab? Like, I'm sorry, but what does Ellen know about skincare? Is it just me, or does she not talk about skincare? And when she has talked about skincare, hasn't she been like a spokesperson for Olay, or hasn't it been like $100 products? Since when has Ellen done skincare? In the words of James Welsh, it makes no sense. Just make it make sense. I could not find her old skincare routine online, but I did find a very unofficial, unscientific blog saying she gets her skincare from happiness and positive vibes. If that's all it takes, then gosh, someone should have told me, because I could be saving a whole lot of money over here, okay? Along with the age positive marketing, they also say that this line is cruelty free, which I personally love, but they don't say that it's vegan. Now, I thought that Ellen was vegan. Apparently she went unvegan. Now, I will say, I am personally plant-based. I am personally a vegan, and I do have chickens, and I do not consume their eggs. I give them to friends, family members, and neighbors who would otherwise purchase those from the stores, and our chickens are actually rescues, which I love. I love my little clucks. Now, I know Ellen has also been under fire for saying that she's a vegan and then launching leather shoes and then now launching this skincare line that has some bee and honey products in it. What do I think about that? I'm very disappointed that not all of the products are vegan. I think it would have been a relatively easy thing to do, especially if you have that checkbox that says kindness always first. I don't think that basically slaving these tiny little insects for the sweet nectar that they vomit up, because if you didn't know that that's how honey is made, well, may I enlighten you? The more you know. The way I see it is that it's not perfect, but if veganism or even just being more plant-based is seen as an all or nothing thing, that discourages a lot of people from making choices that would benefit the animals, their health, the environment. And I think that not making it like an ultimatum, I think that's a really healthy way to talk about the positive benefits for our bodies, for the planet, and for other beings from a perception of actual kindness and actual ethics. And I know that Ellen did start her vegan journey or her plant-based journey because of those ethics. But the gist of it is that it's better to promote moderation and still expose other people to what options there are, rather than to say it's all or nothing. And I think that at the end of the day, I appreciate the conversation. When it comes to the new products, what do we actually have from Kind Science? Well, we do have a cleanser, we have 2 different exfoliants, we have some moisturizers, some oils, some serums, and we have a neck cream and an eye cream. And you know how I feel about eye creams, and if you don't know, I'm going to spare it to you and point you and direct you to this YouTube video. It is literally linked right here and right here. And you've heard me bitch about the eye creams, but have you heard me bitch about the neck creams? Because oh my god, it is the same thing. And have you ever seen a neck cream at a decent price? No, they are $85 to $300. And it's because neck creams are marketed to who? Older, mature women who are what? Usually financially stable, college educated, just from a demographic perspective. And marketers know this. And they prey on those insecurities saying, you don't want a turkey neck, do you? Buy this expensive cream. And what do? Our insecure asses who have been conditioned by media to think that our personal value and intrinsic value as humans and our ability to be loved is somehow related, correlated, or directly influenced by our physical appearance, not recognizing that it's the bullshit companies and the media and the marketing and the products that are drilling themselves into our minds and dictating our self-esteem every day. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. But yes, Ellen does have a neck cream, and when we actually dig into the ingredients of these products, some of them are not half bad. Let's start with the Micro Exfoliant Mask. This is a mask that you put on your skin once or twice a week. You wash it off and it exfoliates. Very nice. The main ingredient in here is water, again our universal solvent, but then we also have alumina. We do have caprylic triglyceride, we have silica, we have glycerol stearate SE, cetyl alcohol, dimethicone, stearic acid, isodecane, propanediol, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Big words. Basically, this actually looks like a nice and somewhat hydrating mask. And the ingredients in here, such as the alumina and silica, are what are exfoliating. And when you look, this doesn't seem to have walnut shells. This doesn't seem to have apricot pits. It doesn't look like it's actually going to destroy the skin in any way. Now, the actual claims about this product say that it has naturally sourced alpha hydroxy acids from lemon, some orange, apple, and sugar. So we're probably talking glycolic acid, citric acid, malic acid, etc. But then it also says it has volcanic sand and bamboo silk. In general, you don't want volcanic like pumice. You don't want rough pumice. Have you ever seen those pumice rocks that you rub on your feet? Yeah, don't put that near your face. But it does look like a combination of physical, chemical exfoliants. And again, there's nothing in here to me that looks greatly anti-aging. We do have a tetrapeptide 14, but in a mask formula. Is it really going to penetrate as deep as it needs to? We have some sugarcane extract, some other extracts, some hydrogenated polydecanes, some arginine, some lentil. These are great, but I just don't see how these are majorly anti-aging. This kind of looks like, you know, fun little micro exfoliant to use once or twice a week before your cleanser. But I don't see this as something phenomenal. Now, for $28, that's not half bad. I mean, it's not drugstore, but that is not half bad. And again, if it didn't have like Ellen's name on it, if I saw it on a shelf, I would be intrigued. Move on to the cleanser. Cleanser is $22. It says that it washes away makeup and whatever is left from the day. And it claims that it has chamomile and kakadu plum, which contains vitamin C, and that it's a nice cleanser. And when we do look at the ingredients, it has the telltale ingredients that you find in a good cleanser, but it's nothing revolutionary. We have some water, some sodium methyl cocoyl taurate, we have some stearic acid, glycerol stearate SE, cetyl alcohol, propanediol, sodium chloride, aka table salt. We've got some safflower seed oil. We've got an interesting antioxidant that we don't always see. It's hydroxyacetophenone, and I don't know a ton about this, but it's an interesting inclusion. Then we've also got some tocopherol, our vitamin E, and again, you find all of this in a relatively good cleanser. I don't see, outside of the marketing, how these two products are positive aging or age positively. I just see them as relatively decent products. If we actually get to the firming serum, we start to see things that are a little bit different. For instance, bakuchiol as well as kangaroo flower. Now, what is a kangaroo flower? Well, I suppose we shall find out. They claim that it gives a skin bounce. They basically say that it helps to increase collagen. I don't know how this kangaroo flower does it, but they say it's a brighter, tighter wrinkle fighter. I haven't tried it, so I cannot say anecdotally, but from the ingredients list, again, like I'm not shocked and surprised, but it's not half bad. We do have water, we do have glycerin, polysilicone 11, dimethicone. These are things that we see in good moisturizers, good serums. Nothing really revolutionary. What's interesting is that we do have boron nitride. Now, this is a crystalline structure, so it kind of refracts and reflects light. Now, I don't have this formula in my hand, but I wonder, since it's relatively high on the ingredients list, I don't know if this is below the 2% line or not, because this does look like a liquidy serum type product. But I wonder if this gives a little glow, and I wonder if the user puts this on their skin and thinks that their skin is glowy and bouncy when those benefits do wash off once you take the serum off. I'm not actually sure with this formula. I do like to see that we have more of those antioxidants. We also have some green tea extract in here, which is great to see. Looks like we've also got this Boswellia serrata. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's basically Indian frankincense, and it seems to have soothing, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant properties. And it was also in the cleanser, but I would actually trust it a little bit more in the serum because it looks like a leave-on formula, whereas the cleanser, you wash it right off. We do have some more of those peptides, specifically that tetrapeptide 14 again. We also have a heptapeptide 7. We do have have phytic acid, we have arginine, and we do have hoochie coochie bakuchiol, in the words of my dear Dr. Dre. Now, this entire line seems to love hoochie coochie bakuchiol. Bakuchiol is often touted as like a retinol alternative, but it really is different. It doesn't bind to the RAR or RXR receptors the way that retinoids do. Retinoids thin out the top layer of skin, but they actually boost the thickness of skin in your dermis by promoting new cell proliferation. And retinoids are amazing, and they're really a first-line treatment for things like acne. And yes, they can also help with scars and hyperpigmentation and fine lines and wrinkles. But bakuchiol is seen as the natural, eco-friendly alternative, but because of the way that this plant is harvested and because of the rarity of it, a lot of people have been asking, is it actually more eco-friendly at all? And especially when it comes to how well it actually works, it is not in the same caliber as a retinoid. Can it help to brighten? Can it help with a little bit of wrinkles and plumping? Absolutely. But it's not the same as a retinoid, which is again that vitamin A. Now, the hydration cream does actually have some ingredients that I really like to see. They claim that it has this snow mushroom, and they specifically say that it's proven to hold up to 1,000 times its weight in water. Now, normally they don't say that about snow mushroom. Normally they say that about hyaluronic acid. Most hyaluronic acid doesn't hold 1,000 times its weight in water. It's usually 50 times its weight, or it depends largely on the ambient environment, the molecular size, etc. But that's a video for another day. It does have this hoochie coochie bakuchiol. It also has some sea buckthorn oil, which we love. It not only has omega properties, but it also has some antioxidants and some vitamin C. But when we do look at the ingredients list, it starts out by being a good basic moisturizer. We do have some flower extracts. We do have some yeast extract, which is good to know about, and some soy amino acids I like. But for me, again, there's nothing in here that screams anti-aging. They have the bakuchiol, they have some antioxidants, they do have the honey extract. If I were to do this and make it anti-aging, this is a day moisturizer, I would put a sunscreen in here. None of these products are going to be graceful aging or even safe aging if you don't put sunscreen in a routine. This is why I don't think a dermatologist helped to formulate this brand. Now, it does have allantoin, sodium hyaluronate, again, that hyaluronic acid. I mean, tetrapeptide 14 pops up again, and in a leave-on formula, I like that better. But this also has titanium dioxide and tin oxide, which are, you know, some of these shimmery pigments. And so it makes me wonder, if you were to take this out, swatch it on your hand, would this give you a bit of a shimmer? And anything with shimmer, anything that reflects light, also makes your skin look brighter, and it can kind of detract from some wrinkles. Large glitter can actually sit in wrinkles and it can actually accentuate them, but fine shimmers can kind of reflect light and make you look more luminous and make wrinkles appear less severe. So I wonder if that's what they're talking about, but in which case, is it really skincare or is it makeup that's disguised inside of skincare just so that someone who doesn't know better feels and looks really good while they're using it? This one also costs 43 doll hairs, and I don't know, it's a little more expensive. Seeing as that the other products were kind of under or around 30, is that ridiculous? No, most graceful aging or anti-aging products are 100 plus, so it's not horrible, but it's definitely not K-beauty, okay? Okay. Then before we get to the Radiance oil, we've got an eye cream. How? When we look at this eye cream, you know how I feel about them. This one specifically says that it does have Kakadu plum, again with vitamin C, visibly plumping with hyaluronic acid, and it's basically an eye-opening formula, sure to help you to see the bright side, a more refreshed, vibrant, and youthful looking you. Just don't look behind the scenes at the toxic work environment that created this product. This eye cream has water, some cyclopentasiloxane, some adipic acid, some glycol cross polymer, dimethicone glycerin. This is all great moisturizer stuff. I don't see why people have to pay more for this just to put it under their eye area. Again, there are some people that should use an eye cream, and shockingly, there are very few eye creams that I actually like and do recommend, but those are in videos right there or right there, and this is not one of them. I would put this all over my face. I don't see why this is amazing for the eye area. This honestly, you know, doesn't have anything amazing in it. I feel like it's a combination of the serum and the moisturizer, and they're just charging people an extra couple bucks for it, specifically $32 for half of a fluid ounce. Whereas that moisturizer for 40 something, 2 fluid ounces. You are getting 4 times the amount of product. I don't understand. Well, I do understand. It is marketing. It's got sage, it's got a whole bunch of silicones, which honestly make it feel very nice, very pillowy, very smooth on the skin. It does have that heptapeptide 7, again, that we keep seeing. This heptapeptide 7 is cited as a fragment of a wound healing peptide, so can it help with wound healing or collagen synthesis? But in a tiny little bottle, I'm very, very skeptical. And again, does it look horrible? No. But am I gonna pay $32 for it? Absolutely not. They've also got this neck cream. And guess what's in the neck cream? Hoochie Goochie Bakuchia. Peptides, kangaroo flower, same stuff, different package, big different price. Same ingredients. This right here is just a moisturizer. And yes, it has bakuchiol. This one does have antioxidants. This one does actually have caffeine, panthenol, vitamin B5, but this seems like a very similar thing, just repackaged over and over again. Again, this heptapeptide 7, collagen boosting, I don't know, sure. This is the same stuff over and over. And I just don't think this is worth the $38. Is it one of the less expensive neck creams I've seen? Yes. But one of the only neck creams I recommend are the ones that actually have sunscreen in them. If you want a good night neck cream, literally get a potent retinoid or get a caffeine cream that you would put all over the rest of your face. It's probably gonna be less expensive. Literally, just get a moisturizer and seal a retinoid in a moisturizer and that will be great. The sodium hyaluronate, hyaluronic acid, we love to see it, but honestly, it's formulated well. It looks halfway decent. I don't have it in my hand, so I can't actually tell you the texture. I can't tell you where they sourced these ingredients. I cannot tell you whether or not they sat in a hot truck for 3 years or whether or not they sat on the shelf for 3 years before getting to someone's cabinet or epidermis. But overall, it's not horrible. It's just not revolutionary. And I don't see why this is science. Like, I would actually like to see more patented ingredients if you're gonna give me science. And I would like to see no bee vomit if this were kind. Okay. Now, the Radiance oil actually looks pretty good. Again, $38. We've got jojoba oil, hoochie goochie bakuchiol, moringa oil, metafoam oil. This one actually seems halfway decent. The base oils are squalene, cocoa caprolate, and then meadowfoam seed oil, sunflower, apricot, jojoba. We do have orange, palm, cotton, linseed, bakuchiol. This seems like a good one. I like that this actually has bakuchiol in it instead of just being straight up oils. But overall, the ingredients aren't really exciting me majorly, but they're not disappointing me. It does look like she kind of slapped her name on it, the way some of those celebrities in Proactive commercials did. They're like, hi, I'm Justin Bieber, I'm Jessica Simpson, I'm Katy Perry. I've totally struggled with acne, even though I've never spoken about it until just now because I'm being paid, but you should buy this because I used it and it will work for you too. Well, that's actually not such a reach because, ooh, are we getting deeper down the iceberg here? When you scroll to the very bottom of the Kind Science website, you'll actually see that it says copyright 2021 KS Brands. And I thought to myself, I would like to see who is making this. I thought, is this made by some manufacturer that does really good skincare? Is this made by some celebrity beauty factory? Is this just the Kardashians using Ellen DeGeneres like a puppet for their empire? Like, what is going on here? And I decided to look into KS Brands, and this is where things get interesting. Not only is the status active, but you'll notice they've been around since 14th of May, 2019. So yes, this further allows us to speculate and to deductively reason that Ellen was working on this long before she was canceled, hence why Kind Science made a lot more sense back in 2019 rather than right now. This line is also in California, in a very interesting place in Southern California called El Segundo, where some very interesting brands and companies are located. Now, this does appear to be a branch of another company, specifically All Kind Beauty LLC. And when we take a look down there, look who is listed as an inactive director or officer. If I do spy with my little eye, 2 people, one of which happens to be William R. Guthie. Now, does Guthie ring a bell? What was that thing? Guthie Ranker? Rodan and Fields, Guthie Ranker, infomercials, Proactive? Oh yes, this is the William R. Guthie, known for the Guthie Ranker Proactive commercials, who appears to be an inactive director or officer of this line. And when we do look a little bit further into William Guthie and his personal life, which happens to be very public, available online on Wikipedia and elsewhere, he's married to who? Oh, a woman named Victoria Jackson, who happens to be a serial entrepreneur, a makeup maven, and yes, the co-founder of the Ellen DeGeneres skincare line. This is absolutely fascinating, and we're opening up like this web, like this skincare family tree. Basically, we've got Proactive over here, which is Rodan and Fields, the Stanford dermatologists that created Rodan and Fields, Proactive, etc., who were tightly intertwined with Guthie Ranker, the advertising company that does what? Infomercials, infomercials. One of the Guthy Ranker guys, the Guthy, Will Guthy, happens to be married to this Victoria, and this Victoria happens to be co-founders with Ellen DeGeneres. And guess what? Victoria is now living, or was living, in Ellen's old house. Yes, there is public information online about Ellen DeGeneres selling a $12 million house to Victoria. What this means is that behind the scenes, there are a lot of ties here. And when looking at the skincare line and looking at who's behind it, if Guthy Ranker knows something about skincare, they know how to advertise it. They are like the king of infomercials, or the queens, I don't know. And Victoria, boy, she knows beauty. Victoria is a serial entrepreneur. She's created over 600 products, and she actually started the no makeup trend, or at least she's accredited to it. And while she normally does, you know, the makeup side, she really is an expert in the cosmetic industry area, and she's paved the way for many other female entrepreneurs to follow in her footsteps. And it looks like she did reach out a helping hand to her friend Ellen and former house owner, but she maybe also opened up that wallet, because it looks like they're trying to share what's inside of it as co-founders. This is very interesting and very deep, but the timing is also quite interesting because it takes a lot of time to create a brand, to formulate it well, and to do these clinical studies and these trials. And when we actually see the launch of this product, I think this timing is very strategic because of the cancellation of Ellen's show. The Ellen DeGeneres show, even though it has thousands of episodes, it will be canceled in 2022. And many people, including myself, wonder if launching this line now is strategic before that show goes off air. Ellen's whole thing is be kind, and although I've never really watched her show, apparently she signed off with something about kindness. But the work environment at the Ellen DeGeneres show sounds like it was anything but. Now, all of this is hearsay, but a lot of former employees have apparently come out saying that Ellen was rude, or that you couldn't look at her, or that there was a toxic environment with a ton of racism. And if you do look at some of the public mishaps that have happened on the show, things like forcing Mariah Carey to disclose a pregnancy that she wasn't ready to talk about.
People are saying that that you're pregnant. There's rumors.
Don't discuss that. Honestly,
You don't have to answer me. Let's just toast with champagne. You want to taste it?
I can't believe you did this to me, Ellen.
What? You're pregnant. You're pregnant. You
I
are
didn't say
pregnant.
that. No. We will let you know when we're gonna have a
No,
family.
you won't.
And I understand that when having thousands of episodes, there's always going to be something. But the question is, was Ellen's brand really built on kindness behind the scenes? With any work environment, there can be discrepancies. But the question is, was Ellen actively being rude to people and her staff? Or even if it wasn't directly her, was there someone else on her team that was saying racist, sexist, derogatory remarks? Was there a culture of toxicity? And Ellen, being the face of the show, being the lead talent, if she knew about this, or if someone told her about this, shouldn't she do something to get those people off the team? Like, you would think so, right? Ratings of the Ellen show were down 43%, and 38% of core viewers were like, nah, I'm out of here. Like, they mad. They big mad. And Ellen's whole thing was kindness. Now, in Ellen's defense, she did stand up and say, like, I'm human. Humans can't be kind all the time. And personally, I do think kindness is subjective. So for example, if I'm like, hey, you've got spinach in your teeth, I might think that that's kind because I'm telling someone, but that person might take offense to it. So how do we define kindness? Is it subjective, right? I personally believe, and the law believes, that employees are entitled to a safe, healthy, work-conducive, non-toxic working environment. But the question is, does kindness also belong in that mixture? I personally think so, but you know, maybe the law doesn't. And some leaders do choose to lead out of fear or lead out of toxicity. And do I agree with that? Absolutely not. But maybe there were people on the show, whether they were being directed specifically by Ellen or by other people on her team or just by someone in management, the fact that people seem to be subjected to racism or to bullying, that's not okay. And no, it doesn't look very kind at all. And it really begs the question, why are they calling it kind science, especially when her entire kindness facade is like under fire? Well, remember, looks like, as according to these documents, that this was created in 2019. And can you see that if the show is expiring in 2022, if you have viewership, you better use it now, because that's going away pretty soon. And if you want to rake in the money, you're kind of running out of time to do it. So yes, kind science with not bad ingredients, made by People who used to live in each other's houses. Brought to you by toxic HR mismanagement and capitalism. So people are mad at the Kind Science name, but what do the actual products look like? Again, they're not half bad, and they seem to be made by decent people, but in my personal, observational, subjective opinion, it looks to me like Ellen just slapped her name on a product. I have never seen her promote skincare and like be a fan of skincare. I have never seen her stand up for the positive aging movement. I don't think she knows what the cyclopentasiloxane is, and I don't think she gives a either. I think this is a money grab, and I think that she's running out of time to do it, and I think that's why we're seeing this line now. Is this something I'm going to rush to the store and buy? Personally, no, but if someone came to me and said, hey Cassandra, what's a really good, not bad skincare line that's relatively decently priced, that's cruelty-free, you know, that doesn't support this negative anti-aging narrative that makes me feel bad when I look in the mirror, I might be like, yeah, try the Kind Science line. But is it something revolutionary? No, I don't even think there are a lot of anti-aging things in here. I mean, they're not horrible. We love the peptides. We love some hoochie coochie bacuchiol, but get some retinoids from your doctor. Get yourself some deep penetrating peptides and some more potent antioxidants, and get yourself a sunscreen. This line doesn't even have a sunscreen, and that is the best graceful aging product there is because it helps with graceful aging, fine lines and wrinkles, and it's literally to prevent cancer. Hello. And on top of that, ingredients like ceramides are really good to just plump up the skin, and we didn't see that in the line anywhere. When it comes to the marketing, I definitely think it has a tinge of clean beauty. I like that science is actually being brought to the forefront, but with the before and after pictures and with these acclaimed studies, I don't think science is at the forefront. I think this is some fancy marketing, but at the same time, is it the worst I've seen? No, it's just not the best. And in the words of my cult leader, James Welsh, please, make it make sense. If you do want an even deeper dive on the ingredients, we dove into them almost individually, and we also went deeper into the iceberg of what's going on with this line on Patreon. If you do want to support the community and if you want the extended cut and the deeper analysis of the skincare line, we do have it there. And guess what? Every single tier of our Patreon actually donates to a charity. It actually promotes kindness, and they're actually vegan charities, animal sanctuaries, and planting trees. So it is actually kind to people, planets, and the environment. Overall, do remember to be kind both to others and yourself, but also remember to be a critic and a skeptic. Question things, dig deeper. Work with me to turn and learn and understand. And that means if you haven't subscribed or liked this, be sure to do so. And if you know someone who is or used to be a fan of The Ellen Show, make sure that you share this with them. I haven't watched the show, and for anyone who has, I would love to know what you think of what's happening with the show, what's happening with the employees or the former employees, and what's happening with this skincare line. Does it fit, or is it a cash grab? Overall, always remember to be beautiful both inside and out, and I cannot wait to see you in this next video. Love you guys. Bye.